Hey there, my name is Jabin Shah and my Unity ID is JNShah2, and this video is about the homework 2 for DevOps. So first we are going to see what this homework is about. So in this homework assignment I've completed the following tasks. So essentially we would be provisioning automatically using Code API from two cloud providers, and then once we've created new VMs with the registered SSH key, we would SSH into it and also try and ping the IP address so as to ascertain the connectivity uh, with the instances created in both the cloud providers. So the cloud providers that we are going to use are DigitalOcean and Amazon Web Services. And now I will just breeze through how the dependencies would be installed. So each of these cloud providers have different set of dependencies that would be needed. So I would just breeze through it on how we would be installing them. So essentially, for both of them, what you can do is cd into their respective folders. So once you clone or download this repository, you can cd into AWS or cd into DigitalOcean and just run npm install. That would install all the required dependencies for these cloud providers. However, if you feel like there are certain previous dependencies that you need to download or you do not fulfill them, there are all the links available over here. So for example, if you do not have the node package manager on your machine, you can click on this link to start the download, or so for example, like this one, or you can visit the web page and have a look through the documentation yourself. For AWS CLI, you can either brew install AWS CLI, or if you would, you can even manually do it through Python. And once the CLI is set up, then you need to configure it with your own secret access key and access token. With DigitalOcean, as I said before, you can just change directory into DigitalOcean and then npm install um, to install all the dependencies and set up the preliminary environment. And also, what you would need to do is sign up with DigitalOcean, create a new account, and then once you've created a new account, you need to generate a new token. So you would find that in the profile section or the API section once you log in. And then once when you create generate new token, you would be able to you would set a name, and then over here you would get um, a token that you need to export to in your environment as a path variable. So you can just write export do token, and then XXX can be replaced with the token that you receive from DigitalOcean. So also you would need to SSH into both of these instances. So for AWS, we would just be setting the security parameters and making sure that uh, we create and associate a key pair with each of the instances that we create, so that we can SSH into it, and also setting the security group IDs uh, that would enable SSH traffic as inbound rule into the instances. So now that you have received for DigitalOcean, so you would need to create your own API key, and all the documentation are pretty verbose as to what you need to do and how you need to do it. And then once you've created or added your public ID to DigitalOcean, you can get uh, the ID associated with the API using this command, where XXX refers to the token that you received over here. Then now we would just be running the programs. So running the programs, first we will see about Amazon Web Services and how its interface looks. Okay, So as you can see, there are no current running instances in the North Virginia section. So what we're going to do is run node aws.js, and this would create an instance with the instance ID this. And if we refresh the console, then we see that an instance indeed is being provisioned to us, with the current instance state being pending and the status checks being accomplished. The IP address is what we have, and we can ping it right now to see whether or not connection has been established between my computer and the provision instance. And also you see that a key pair has been associated with this instance, that is DevOps test homework. So this key pair would be needed for us to SSH into the instance. So let us first just ping into to the instance. As you can see, we are receiving data, and if we need to log in or SSH into the instance, we need to write SSH EC2 instance app, and then I would this would be the key pair, the private PEM of file that we would need to DevOps test homework .pem, and we should be able to log in into the instance. And now if we just, I don't know, mkdirls and then ls just something, any which ways. So this is the provisioning of the instance using AWS, and if I just terminate this, I shouldn't be able to ping this instance anymore. So that's about it for Amazon Web Services. Now we would move on to DigitalOcean. So DigitalOcean, it's the same thing. What we would do is first we would cd into DigitalOcean and then run node main.js, and this would create a droplet and droplet ID, and then we use this droplet ID to be placed into to obtain the IP address and any subsequent information that we might need from it. And once we have created the droplet, we can SSH into the droplet using SSH root at the IP address with the path to private key. So right now, as you can see, there are no droplets in my account right now. So first what we are going to do is run node main.js, and what this would do is create a droplet with this ID. We're going to just copy that ID and go back to the console and just look whether or not the instance has been in fact. So this instance is the one that is being generated right now. So what we would do is go back into node main.js, comment out this command, because we do not want to create or keep creating the droplets as and when we are running this code. So I would just replace the droplet ID, and this information would be essentially used to get the droplet info and essentially the IP address. So if we just run node main.js again, we have this IP address. So if the instance has been created, we should be able to ping to it. As you can see, information or connection can be ascertained. So now what we're going to do is just SSH into the instance, and as I have shown you in my GitHub repository, you need to write SSH root at the IP address and with the path to the private key. So root at the IP address Path, I'm not sure where the, yeah, it's over here. It should allow us to log in, and as you can see, we can log in or SSH into the DigitalOcean droplet. So over here, same. So if we list, we have that's it, I guess. So what we would now do is create or destroy the droplet and confirm, and if we ping the address again, um, the requested timeout. So finally, you can click here to, it's just a link to the screencast for this video. Thank you.